It is 6 o'clock, and I am going to call to order the Raymore Board of Adjustment regular meeting today. And if we could have roll call, please.
Board Member Burke. Here. Board Member Martin. Here. Board Member Hatcher.
Here.
Board Member Bailey.
Here.
And Board Member Woods is absent. We do have a quorum.
Thank you very much. If everyone would please join me in standing and saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Do we have any personal appearances tonight? Okay. Next agenda item is the consent agenda. If everyone's had an opportunity to review, I'd like to have someone make a motion for the approval of the minutes from September 10th, 2025.
I'll make a motion.
Perfect. Mr. Board Member Martin makes the motion.
I'll second.
Board Member Bailey seconds it. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes to approve the minutes from September 10th, 2025. Is there any unfinished business? Okay. We're going to jump straight into new business, and this is a public hearing for case number 25035 at 403 West Walnut Street, a variance of use for Manna Auto Sales. It's 6:01, and I'm going to open the public hearing.
All right, good evening, members of the board. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Before you have a planning application that is Manna Auto Sales LLC for a variance of use. The property owner and applicant is Dennis Mendoza. The property is located at 403 West Walnut Street. This application was filed for a variance to Unified Development Code sections 410.020H and 415.050D, allowing for the light equipment and vehicle sales or rental land use at the subject property. The property is located on the edge of the original town overlay district and has a base zoning district of C2 general commercial, both of which prohibit that land use. The property in size is 0.34 acres. Just a little bit of background on the property, dating back to the 80s. There was a building permit issued in 1989 to construct that existing metal building there. The property at that time held a commercial zoning district designation that permitted vehicle repair as a land use. In 1997, a conditional use permit was granted for the sale of vehicles on the property, and we'll come back to that conditional use permit in just a moment. About a decade later, in 2008, the property was rezoned to C2 General Commercial District, and that new zoning district prohibited the sale of automobiles on the property. And in 2010, the original town overlay district was added to the property as well. So going back to that 1997 conditional use permit, it stayed active on the property up through 2019, at which time the business license was not renewed for a period of a year. And at that time, the conditional use permit also was removed off the property. Since then, there really hasn't been too much activity. It's sat vacant for several years, and I think over time has had several different interests on it. But given that the building itself was originally developed and constructed for such a specific use, we kind of feel that it may have been a little difficult for someone to come in and really kind of reuse that space outside of kind of its original purpose. So the applicant is here and has expressed to staff that his business is different in the traditional sense of automotive sales. His business, the applicant has stated, is mostly online. The sales occur to customers online. Really the only sort of interaction with customers is for them to show up to pick up the vehicle once they've made the purchase already. The general idea behind the business model is that they purchase vehicles from auctions, bring them to the property, pull them into the building for servicing, cleaning, oil change, things of that nature. These aren't vehicles that, or it's been explained that these are not vehicles that need extensive repairs or things of that nature, so they're all in general good keeping. Once those vehicles have been cleaned and are ready for customer pickup, they'll be parked out on the lot, and then customers will come to pick those up after they've made that purchase online. So that's kind of the characteristics of what has been explained on how the business works. Both sections of the Unified Development Code that we previously mentioned do recommend against the auto-oriented use based on both the underlying zoning district of C2 and the original town overlay. However, staff, after meeting with the applicant as well as reviewing the code, thinking about where this property is in relation to the overall Old Town overlay, kind of on the fringe of it, and having some other similar uses in the nearby areas, can understand that it is in quite a unique situation in terms of how the development code regulates the property, and then also how it was actually designed and constructed, what uses it was constructed for. So there is a little bit of complication there. We have listed, we would consider a fairly healthy list of conditions for this application if it were to be approved. And staff is recommending that the Board of Zoning Adjustment accept the proposed findings of fact for case 25035, the Manna Auto Sales LLC variance application with those conditions, and would be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Okay. Is the applicant here, and does he want to speak to the board? Okay, come on up and state your name and your address.
Hi, good evening. My name is Dennis Mendoza, owner of Manna Auto Sales. So real quick, I bought this building a year ago, exactly in November, thinking that I was able to start an auto sale there, which because I searched online, it was made for that, right? And then I found out that I can't, right? So I tried to rent it out, but I couldn't based on the, this building has 3 doors, 3 gates, but it's not level on the inside. It's like, it has some,
For lifts.
yes, so especially for cars. So I can't use anything else in there, so that's why I was asking if I can start an auto sale. One of the things I was saying that I will fix the building nicely outside. I won't be a traditional dealer that has a lot of cars outside, or like cars repairing outside, or cars that are not good looking. So I was saying too that I can have a few cars only. I will keep the place nice, clean, painted. We're gonna remodel the whole thing to make the neighborhood nice. And I'm willing to follow the rules. They were saying, permit for 5 years. I was even saying 1 year for me is fine, and I can prove that I will follow all the regulations. So
Okay. I'm very familiar with the building. I know how long it was up
Okay.
for sale, and I know it was a unique building, so I was actually going to ask you how long you had owned it, and then found out you couldn't operate what you thought you were purchasing. So, does anyone else, I want to find out, do we have anyone else here that wants to speak? Okay. And just checking, do any board members?
Yeah, I have a
Member
question. Hi,
Burke?
sir. Yeah, what kind of volume are you expecting, like to sell? Like, how many cars, like, if you're saying it's only gonna be used for, like, cleaning the cars and, like, getting them ready, what kind of volume of sales do you do through your business, like, per month, that we could understand, like, how many cars would actually be on the lot? Because
Yes.
that's gonna drive how many cars on the lot is your volume of sales, correct?
I'm new in the car sale business. I'm a business owner, but I do underground utilities. So on the car business, I'm gonna be new in this one. So, but I was saying that I can park 10 cars. I'm not trying to keep a lot of traffic, understanding there's a daycare on the side. And mainly, we see other buildings and other places are for auto sales, but they have a little office and just the parking. And I was telling them that I can rent another place somewhere else and bring the cars over here, clean them, and just take them to another place. I won't have a lot of traffic. Maybe I will be selling 2 per week. So I'm not sure exactly if I'm gonna sell 100 or maybe none. It'll be hard for me to answer that question, but I won't have a lot of cars parked outside.
I have a question.
Yes.
I actually have a tenant that I deal with this issue right now who buys cars at the auto auctions.
Yes.
When the comment was made by Mr. McCumber that you would be buying cars at the auction that needed a little bit of work or whatever, do you plan on doing body work?
No.
Or, okay. So strictly ones that aren't missing the hood, the engine isn't exposed,
No.
the tires aren't gone?
Yeah, no,
and
those
it's
type of
sitting up on
cars-
blocks while it's waiting to be repaired.
No, when I buy a car, it will be a nice drivable car. I'm gonna drive it from there to here, and mainly I'm gonna be focused on selling. I'm gonna be selling online, so I gotta be specific on everything that is wrong with the car or like the buyer knows. And the main thing I will be doing inside will be cleaning, oil changes, brake changes, to make sure I'm selling something good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, just asking from experience of having other neighbors complain about my commercial property and the tenant.
Yes.
So fully aware of what the public will come out and say. Does anyone else have any questions? Okay, thank you very much. And at 6:11, I'll be closing the public hearing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there a motion regarding this case number 25035 at 403 West Walnut Street, variance use for Manna Auto Sales?
I'll make a motion that we accept the findings for case number 25035, 403 West Walnut Street, variance of use, Manna Auto Sales.
I'll second.
And good, thank you, Member Burke. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none. Case number 25035 at 403 West Walnut Street, variance use does pass. Thank you. Next, we have the staff report.
Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity to meet again this evening. A couple of things I just wanted to highlight in your packet was a department report for the month of September. You can kind of see we had another steady month of permits. We issued 25 new single-family home permits across several different neighborhoods. So I would just like to point out our development has stayed pretty balanced across the different parts of our city, which is always good to see. If you've frequented at all the east side of town there at Pine Street, you've noticed that property owner has permitted some property improvements there with a new parking lot, which is really good to
Thank
see.
you so much.
And then it looks like next month, they'll be trying to permit some other building improvements with some roof replacements and things like that. So,
That's awesome.
good to see that property owner investing in Raymore and their property in the city to make it look as nice as it can. We currently do not have any items scheduled for our next meeting in November, and so we'll be in touch if we do get any applications by the deadline. That way perhaps you guys can get your evening back next month. But unless there are any questions, that would conclude our staff report. Happy to answer any questions.
Does anyone have any questions? Okay. With that being said, are there any public comments? Hearing none, do any board members have any comments? Okay, I just need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.